Hello YouTube, my name's Mike. Got my new Mavic 2 Pro drone yesterday and my Panasonic Leica 12mm f1.4 Summilux. This wasn't meant to be my first video that I was going to make for you folks, but I'm just so excited about my new drone and the new lens. I wanted to come out and try them out. This video is kind of more of a diary really. There's not really going to be any fancy colour grading, if you're bothered about that sort of thing, or 24 frames a second, or that sort of malarkey. We've got a bit of a journey ahead of us. Today is just going to be about Mavic 2 Pro and Panasonic 12mm f1.4 Summilux. But as you can hear, it's rather windy, so with that in mind, I'm going to do a bit of a change and get a bit warmed up. Okay, so here we are out in the Pentlands, blowing an absolute hoolie, so I'm not even sure if I particularly want to put the Mavic 2 Pro up today. Thank you. Okay, so maybe let's talk about the lens first. The Panasonic 12mm f1.4 Leica Summilux malarkey. It's my second Panasonic Leica lens, and I just love them. I never particularly got the whole Leica thing before when I worked as a professional photographer. Partly I couldn't afford it, and partly I just didn't really like the look of it very much at all. And the Leica cameras, the look's just too contrasty, too artificial. It just wasn't to my taste at all. But I got the Panasonic Leica 42.5mm f1.2 a few weeks ago. Just that combination of the Panasonic look, which is a little bit washed out and I'm not always mad keen on, but you couple it with that Leica look and you just get that really beautiful look. And then with the really shallow depth of field, even on the micro four thirds sensor, it's just stunning. I just love the look. So I've got two of these lenses now, the 12mm and the 42.5. That feels like a really great starting point for me. If you look at what some of my favourite directors do, Spielberg and others quite like a nice wide angle lens, whereas Ridley Scott likes a nice long lens. So I've got something nice and wide here, like this 12mm that we're using now, and then the 42.5 for something longer. Not really very much more to say about that. I love the look, I love the perspective, I love what it can do, the way it can convey my vision.
So this location photo shows a characteristic of both Leica lenses, the 42.5 and the 12mm, that I really love, and that's their ability to draw a scene. Not totally sure what people mean when they actually talk about a lens's ability to draw a scene, but for me it's their ability to convey a sense of three-dimensionality, to draw line and to create a very realistic image that just draws me in, really immerses me, and that's, you know, in both stills and video. Just really love that look.
So really that's it. So this is completely ridiculous. Met Office say that it's blowing about 40 miles an hour at the moment. It's meant to be slightly gusty, but it's just continuous.
So I'll say goodbye to this lovely summit location which I'd selected for filming today, with its beautifully textured dry stone walls and that gorgeous summit looking out over the Pentlands. Could have done some really great drone moves up here. Have to come back another day.
Just not even going to put the drone up. I think the sound on this is going to be completely rubbish. Even with the lav mic I can see the audio meters are just going absolutely bonkers with wind noise alone. Camera's mounted on a fence post which is all over the place. So with that in mind, see you later.
Okay, so I've come down into the valley bottom. It's nowhere near as attractive as up on the top. Gone is the lovely light and the lovely dry stone walls and all the points of interest, and we're down in amongst some Forestry Commission ruined landscape. But there's lots of features of interest, so it'll do for the purposes of today, and the purpose of today was to explore some of the movements that I can do with the drone, both some of the built-in ones and the intelligent flight modes, things like active track and points of interest, and also just some moves that I can do myself, so reveals and weaves and drop shots and stuff like that. Probably got the names of those all totally wrong, but it doesn't matter because I've got my storyboard here of all the shots that I'm going to practice with. So without further ado, let's get the drone out. Okay, so first things first, the safety first with the drone. Check drone assist. We are actually in a high risk area, so need to pay attention, but it's still okay to fly. I'm using Okay, so that was some of the intelligent flight modes. Pretty impressed with those, both, with how smooth they were and how long the battery lasted. I was probably messing around for a good half an hour. It's pretty cold. Really impressively, it's still actually really windy here, and the drone managed the intelligent flight modes just really well. Managed to correct really well for the wind. So tried the drone and circling around points of interest, asteroid, active track is really impressive. Me running sort of through the landscape, and it just followed me really nicely compared to the Spark, which I've flown before, which just didn't really follow all that well. I never had any idea what it was doing whatsoever. So that was the end of that battery. I'm going to change the battery now and then doing some flying myself, see if I can get some interesting movements. Okay, so going to try some of my own movements now. Thought I was really well prepared. I've got them all in my iPhone, nice list of them and some drawings and stuff to follow, except I'm using my iPhone to fly the Mavic 2 Pro as well. So I can't be looking at both at once, so I'll just try and have to remember them. But some of the ones I'm going to look at today to try are the pull away, the gentle rise, the drop, the panorama, the weave, the look down, the follow, the approach, the reveal, the lateral, and the descent. See, there they are. There are all my lovely storyboards. Fantastic. Right, so onwards and upwards. Okay YouTube, that's been a pretty good day, getting some good camera movements with the Mavic 2 Pro. It's time to head home for some hot chocolate. My hands are blue with cold, I can barely move the controller sticks anymore. So goodbye from Bop, goodbye from Xanabu, the dog who's wandering around somewhere over there wanting to be videoed, and goodbye from me. See you again. Bye bye. So YouTube, back home, warmed up, got my hot chocolate. Absolutely delicious. What I wanted to explore today was a couple of things. I wanted to have a look at my new kit, first of all, with new kits always did exciting. And I also wanted to try out some moves with the Mavic drone. New kit was excellent. I am in love with these, if the GH5 is going to do its thing. These Panasonic Leica lenses, just lovely, just absolutely beautiful depth of field. Really, really nice look to them. Just a lot I could say technically about them, but mainly just love the way they look, love the way they draw a scene out. This guy, Mavic drone, go on GH5, you can do it. Okay, also absolutely amazing, just totally loved it compared to the Spark, which I've been using for the last year. It's just a different thing. It's like instant coffee and a real coffee made in some nice hipster coffee shop somewhere in Soho. Just brilliant thing and just really great creative tool. The main thing that I was wanting to try out today was some camera moves with the drone. That didn't really go so well with all the wind on the tops, kind of left me down in the valley bottom with some really not very interesting scenes and limited flying skills, really limited flying skills. So really just altogether not great. But I've had a chance to explore some of the intelligent flight modes, which kudos to DJI, are just absolutely amazing, and also tried out some moves myself. So I'm going to finish off with just a Ken Burns on my storyboard from the day, just listing all the shots that I was wanting to try today, both the DJI ones and ones which I found on the website, whose link I will include in the description somewhere. So thanks very much for coming to my first video, and I will see you soon.